arguments kanina, kinwestiyon ng Korte Suprema ang pag-remit ng PhilHealth ng 60 billion pesos sa national government kahit may utang pa ito. Sa oral arguments kanina, kinwestiyon ng Korte Suprema ang pag-remit ng PhilHealth ng 60 billion pesos sa national government kahit may utang pa ito. Nakatutok si Mark Salazar.
Sumentro ang Korte Suprema sa lagay ng pananalapi ng PhilHealth para masagot ang tanong, bakit nag-remit ito ng 60 billion pesos sa national government kung may mga utang pa? Si Associate Justice Ami Lazaro Javier ang humimay sa isyong ito.
Has PhilHealth paid all the recorded and recognized claims
Your Honor,
before it transferred the funds to the Treasury?
Your Honor, in a certain cut-off date, Your Honor, definitely hindi ho. Natin mababayaran lahat ng
Not
paid.
all were paid,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
yet you transferred the funds already.
PhilHealth has a 500 billion reserve, and the cost of to provide their services in 1 year is less than 100 billion. So their budget actually for expenditure is in the 260 billion. It is 100 and plus billion. So meron pa ring reserve. I know na naabala ang tao because bakit natin binawasan? Dahil ang katotohanan dyan ay kung tignan ninyo, kaya binawi ng Department of Finance yung ilang reserve na naman doon na naiwan dahil hindi nagamit yun ng ilang taon. In other words, the PhilHealth has sufficient budget to do all of the things that they want to do. So let's go back the last 2 years. Kung titignan ninyo, ang services na binibigay, ang treatment na binabayaran ngayon ng PhilHealth ay nag-expand na ng gusto. We are taking care of many more conditions, many more diseases. We have more dialysis patients. We are attending to more people. That's from the budget of 2023 and 2024. So patuloy, pataas na pataas. Pati yung pagbayad. Ang payments ngayon natin for cancer, for the other diseases, hundreds of percent ang increase doon sa dati. In other words, kaya ng PhilHealth na bayaran niya. And the reason why is that we do not want to subsidize it is because the subsidy will up lang doon sa bank account ng PhilHealth, hindi magagamit. Marami tayong paggagamitan noon. So that's a simple explanation there. Is that they have sufficient funds to carry on. Because ang problema sa PhilHealth, ang problema ngayon sa PhilHealth, hindi tungkol sa pagbigay ng serbisyo, hindi sa pagbigay ng insurance cover. Hindi yan ang problema na kulang sila sa budget kaya hindi sila nakakapag-alaga ng tao. Kulang sila sa budget kaya maliit ang bayad. Hindi yan ang problema. Ang problema, kung titignan ninyo, you look at the reports that are happening, sa dami ng bagong services ng PhilHealth, sa dami ng mga bagong payment na binibigay ng PhilHealth, nababara ang sistema. You can see there are in the provinces, merong mga tao nag-aantay buong araw, yung pilat 200 tao nag-aantay, magkiklaim sila. Hindi naman mahirap, pero that's what's happened in PhilHealth. Yun ang problema sa PhilHealth. The problem is the processing capacity. Kaya ang naging priority, isa sa pinakamalaking priority sa PhilHealth, of course, to continue to provide services, continue to provide insurance, is pag-digitalize na kayo. Patuloy kanila, that's where the effort is para lahat dapat itong mga taong ito, ma-process natin. Tuloy-tuloy naman, tuloy-tuloy. Tuloy pa rin ang insurance, tuloy pa rin ang bayaran ng claim. And at the same time, mabilis makuha ng tao yung kanilang insurance claim.
Sa 2021 financial statement ng PhilHealth na inaudit ng COA, 1.16 trillion pesos pa ang bayarin ng PhilHealth sa mga benepisyo, habang 347 billion lang ang asset nito. Ibig sabihin, mahigit 816 billion pesos ang deficit ng PhilHealth. Sabi ng adverse opinion ng COA, hindi sinunod ng PhilHealth ang tamang accounting standard at malamang na mas malaki pa ang deficit nila.
Financial statements do not present fairly the financial position of PhilHealth. In short, the negative equity of PhilHealth may be way more than 816 billion pesos. Even if you double up your assets, they're not enough to pay off your liabilities.
Unti-unti namang bumaba ang deficit hanggang sa 26 billion pesos na lang noong 2022. Pero deficit pa rin.
From these assets, the law requires PhilHealth to set aside a portion called reserve funds, precisely to cover payments for the claims of beneficiaries, and that portion has to be used exclusively for the claims, to pay the claims of the beneficiaries. And if there is an excess, then additional programs should be set up. And if there is still an excess in the excess, then investment may be made.
Pero sabi ng PhilHealth, hindi naman sabay-sabay babayaran ng mga utang. Kaya aniya itong punan ng mga makukolekt ng direct contribution ng mga miyembro.
Requirement of the law, Your Honor, particularly in Section 11, reserve fund for a maximum of 2 years, Your Honor.
Is the reserve funds just in paper? Are you not supposed to reserve real money? You cannot predict when people get sick.
Corporate Council ng PhilHealth, hindi mababang karote ang PhilHealth dahil sagot ito ng gobyerno.
It is the state insurance company. It cannot be insolvent because by law, the government of the Philippines guarantees the financial viability of the program or the National Health Program administered by PhilHealth.
Sa labas ng Korte Suprema, nagpahayag ang mga petitioner kung bakit nila ipinababalik sa gobyerno ang 60 billion pesos na kinuha nila sa PhilHealth.
Kulang na nga yung pondo, binawi pa, no? Inabandon na ng gobyerno yung kanyang pananagutan na magbigay ng subsidiya para doon sa mga indirect contributor, mga indigent, no? At ipinapapasan ngayon doon sa mga kontribusyon ng mga magnagawa.
Malinaw po na hindi sapat ang pondo ng PhilHealth para doon sa sinasabi nating reserve fund nito. Hindi kasi sapat na sasabihin natin na basta may balansing pondo ang PhilHealth ay excess fund na ito.
Kanina nag-file din ng petition si Dr. Tony Leachon laban sa gobyerno at kongreso sa pagbibigay naman ng zero budget sa PhilHealth para sa 2025. Nagpapatuloy pa rin ang oral argument sa Korte Suprema.
Pinag-utos ng Korte Suprema sa Senado at Kamara na magpaliwanag kaugnay sa petisyon na inihain ni Vice President Sara Duterte sa naging proseso ng impeachment laban sa kanya. Para bigyan tayo ng detalye, makakausap natin sa linya ng telepono si Camille Samonte. Camille, kanina lang yan inanunsyo ng SC, ilang araw daw ba yung binigay nila para sa pagtugon ng Kongreso tungkol dito?
Ruth, binigyan ng
Anyway, Mr. Commissioner, you have offered your wisdom. Anyway, Mr. Commissioner, you have offered your wisdom. I'm just afraid that when the case of PhilHealth goes to your office for review, you might be charged with partiality or bias.
Your Honor, the process, as far as COA is concerned, Your Honor, we maintain our independence.
Yes, all
with
right.
regards to mandate.
So, Mr. Commissioner,
Yes,
your
Your Honor.
excuse. We don't want to burden you any further.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honors.
Yes.
Can I interject?
Yes, please.
Mr. Commissioner, you got appointed as a commissioner when?
Ad interim, February 10.
2025.
Yes, Your Honor. Ad interim, Your Honor.
And you're the COA. Are you speaking here now as representing COA or as a resource person?
As a resource person, Your Honor.
But is that correct? You're a sitting COA commissioner.
Your Honor, we are going through the records just as a witness for the records of COA, Your Honor.
But the way I'm listening to your arguments, you are defending the position of the DOF.
Your Honor, this has been a COA discussion also, Your Honor. And we have also reviewed this in light not only of this case, Your Honor, but
So
for the
let me
implementation.
be clear. Are you speaking on behalf of the entire COA when you're speaking to the court now? Or are you speaking only from your knowledge as a COA commissioner?
As a COA commissioner, Your Honor.
So you're not here speaking for COA.
No, Your Honor.
Do you also audit the DOF?
We do, Your Honor.
Then isn't there a conflict of interest here?
Your Honor, we were requested, Your Honor, discuss the records.
I know,
and the
but you're a
definition.
sitting commissioner.
Yes, Your Honor.
Don't you think there is a conflict of interest here? You're espousing views. The contending views are to be decided by this court. And now a sitting COA commissioner stands before the court. I don't get it. I really don't get it.
My apologies, Your Honor. I was requested to discuss the contents of the COA report, and objectively, this is part of our records, and we make the statement, Your Honor, based on this.
But you were not COA commissioner at the time these COA reports were made, right?
Yes, Your Honor. But we have the records, Your Honor, and just a matter of explaining what they contain, Your Honor.
Except that you're wearing too many hats. What hat are you wearing?
We apologize, Your Honor.
Inatasan ng Korte Suprema ang Kamara at House Secretary General at maging ang Senado na sumagot sa petisyong inihain ni Vice President Sara Duterte na layong ipawalang bisa ang impeachment complaint sa kanya. Samantala, bukod sa mga ebidensya, pinaghahandaan na rin ng House Prosecution Panel ang mga legal na hamong kahaharapin kaugnay ng impeachment laban sa pangalawang Pangulo. Ito ang balita ni Rosalie Cos.
Sa ngayon, ang pinaghahandaan po namin kung paano namin ilalatag ang lahat ng ebidensya kung sakasakaling mag-proceed na ang impeachment hearing.
Dalawang petisyon na ang inihain sa Korte Suprema upang questionin ang legalidad ng impeachment complaint laban kay Vice President Sara Duterte. Ngayong araw, inatasan na ng Supreme Court en banc ang House of Representatives, House Secretary General Reginald Velasco at ang Senado na sagutin sa loob ng 10 araw ang petition for prohibition na inihain mismo ni VP Duterte na isipadeklara ng pangalawang Pangulo na walang bisa ang impeachment complaint laban sa kanya dahil sa umunoy paglabag sa 1-year ban.
Vice President Duterte filed a petition for certiorari and prohibition with a prayer for a temporary restraining order or TRO, seeking to nullify the 4th impeachment complaint against her. The court required the House of Representatives, its Secretary General Reginald Velasco, and the Senate to comment on the petition within a non-extendable period of 10 days from notice. The action was they were going to study whether these cases should be consolidated or not. No TRO in the meantime.
Wala pang kopya ng direktiba ng Korte Suprema ang House of Representatives. Subalit ayon sa ilang kongresista, handa namang sumunod dito ang Kamara.